It was quite the scene at the outdoor game on Saturday. The Stadium Series at Nissan Stadium. The Predators, the Lightning, those cool sweaters. And by the way, I was not a fan of the sweaters when they were first unveiled back in the fall. I just thought the initial look at the sweater itself is kind of too boxy and not creative enough. But when they actually got on the ice with the new helmets, with the 3 stars on them, and then you paired them with the pants and everything that they were doing, I thought they looked really sharp on the ice. I thought they popped. I thought it was a different kind of fun look for the Predators. So I'll give them credit. The entire uniform, I think, went off well. And I thought was more appealing than the more simple uniforms that the Bolts or the Lightning wore on Saturday night. But the entire night was incredible. The setup was good. The music was awesome. Performances throughout the night. I mean, there was not a moment of calmness inside the stadium. It was either hockey, it was introductions, or it was a musical performance from someone famous in this city. And we do that so well, and they continued to do it throughout the night on Saturday. Just an absolutely fantastic environment, and 68,619 showed up to watch it. One of the largest crowds in NHL history and the 9th largest crowd ever in the history of the world to watch a hockey game. That's what we saw at Nissan Stadium. And here was Preds captain Roman Josi after the game to talk about being a part of that environment here in the Preds' hometown.
I think it was an even game. I mean, obviously in the second they got those 2 power play goals, and we knew they're a great team on the power play. I thought we had a pretty good push in the third, and they scored that third goal, which obviously was kind of the game breaker. But we had a good push. Couldn't get one by them, but yeah, I didn't like our second period. I thought our second was too passive. But yeah, they're a great team. I mean, they won 2 cups, and you see how they show up in big games, and yeah, their power play is really good.
Do you take anything from that, as you said, that kind of push back there in the third after you guys are down 3-1?
Yeah, I mean, we came back after second. We knew it wasn't our best period, and like I said, everybody in this room wanted to win so bad for our fans, and we wanted to win this game, and we knew we had to make a push. And I thought we had a lot of good looks in the third. We had a lot of zone time, a lot of chances, but yeah, we couldn't. Yeah, it wasn't enough at the end.
A little more spirited physically than a lot of other games we expected between you guys, but was it a little extra? Was there a little more talking going on?
Yeah, it was emotional for sure. I mean, I think for both teams, and obviously we're a physical team. We always play physical, but they got some guys who can play really physical too. So a lot of emotions, and 2 teams that play physical. So you kind of knew that was coming a little bit.
Roman, do you have a
penalties creep up at times this year for it to lead directly to those 2 goals?
Yeah.
Early in the second, is that especially hurt you?
Yeah, it does for sure. I mean, we knew coming in they had a good power play, and they showed it tonight. And it's been kind of a problem for us all year. And yeah, those were 2 key goals for them, obviously, on the power play. But yeah, we've been talking about it a lot, and it's been kind of a problem all year. So we got to fix it, especially in big games like that. And that was the difference tonight. So a lot of good teams. It's tough 5-on-5. You play pretty even 5-on-5, and a lot of times the power play is the deciding factor.
You guys obviously came in wanting to do so. If you walk away tonight, you sit down on the couch later or whatever, what are you going to remember this night?
Yeah, I mean, just the fans. I mean, like I said before, it was unbelievable. I mean, it's a full house. It seemed like everyone, us, the fans, the whole city was so excited about this game. And like I said, our fans are so supportive every time. I mean, they're amazing at Bridgestone, but they've been met like this, and it's a full building, the bus right here and everything. Like, it's just so much support from the city, and we're so grateful for it. And it's definitely a game that we will never forget.
Everybody knows Bridgestone Arena is Smashville, and those crowds over the years have become synonymous with the Predators and have delivered them such a home ice advantage. And Saturday we saw that stretch across the river into Nissan Stadium. It was cool. The Predators had their Travis Austin kind of renegade looks. They all had musical theme T-shirts with these specially designed Travis Austin jackets and hats and all that to go to the game. They left Bridgestone Arena. They took like a double-decker bus over there through downtown and across the river to the stadium, then entered specially in front of the fans over there at the stadium. Of course, came out later in the special uniforms for the game. It was just, the entire day was a show, and the city really responded behind it, and the fans really responded behind it. And it made it the event that it was. Unfortunate that the Preds could not win, but they were certainly appreciative of the spark that the fans gave them. Tanner Jeannot got the Preds on the board in the first period and gave them a 1-0 lead. That did not hold up. Philip Forsberg's goal in the third period, not enough to bring them all the way back in the 3-2 loss, but it was a special night at Nissan Stadium for the Predators, and here was Tanner Jeannot after the game talking about what the Preds felt and saw inside Nissan Stadium for the Stadium Series.
I didn't hear it. No, I didn't hear anything, but I kind of just heard them getting announced after they were done, but I'm sure it was a heck of a show.
Cool. All right, thanks, man.
How frustrating is it that the penalties kind of gave them a spark there, and that's been a theme that's hurt you guys a lot to come up in this big moment once again?
Yeah, it's something that we talk about every day as a team that we want to fix, and we want to be better in that area. So it's frustrating, but we all know that we need to work on it, and that's what we're going to continue to do. And you can't dwell on the past. All you can do is try to get better for the future.
Can you encapsulate the night and like how special it was to have this in this city, but yet also, I guess, the disappointment walking away without points?
Yeah, I think it was really special to have this experience at home in front of our own fans. I think the whole city enjoyed it, hopefully. Everyone probably was hoping for the win, but you know, for us, we're, like I said, trying not to dwell on it too much. We got big games coming up here in the future, so we thought we played a good game. We just want to continue to build our game and keep getting better as a club.
How would you assess
Disappointment in the 3-2 defeat, but overall in what was a remarkably busy and important week for the Predators, full of distractions, fun stuff, but distractions from the hockey. The Predators walk away with 4 of a possible 6 points against some of the best teams in the league. They had the comeback win a week ago tomorrow down in Florida against a team at that point, the Panthers, that was leading the Eastern Conference. They had the shootout win on Thursday night over the Stars at Bridgestone Arena on the night that they retired Pekka Rinne's number 35. And then, of course, the Stadium Series game against the 2-time defending Stanley Cup champion Lightning that was such a battle to the very, very end. This for a Preds team that was coming in off of 4 consecutive losses, the longest losing streak of the season. Last week, they found their footing. They got a couple of big wins, and that should give them some confidence. Give it everything that they went through to now enter what is essentially a 2-month push for the playoffs. 2 months left in the regular season, starting tomorrow on March 1st. And the Predators in playoff position, but 4th in the Central Division. So right now they would be a wild card team. And they're going to have to battle to either get back into the top 3 spots in the Central or to hold on to one of those 2 precious wild card positions. That's all in front of the Predators, but John Hynes likes what he saw from his team last week through everything that was going on to give him confidence of what they're going to look like moving forward. And here was the Predators head coach after the game.
Hey, John, I'm sure any loss a little bit disappointing, but a little bit even, maybe more so tonight, given the atmosphere and the huge crowd and so forth, not to be able to come up with a win for that as well.
Well, I really like the way our guys played. I thought it was a highly competitive game. I think special teams were a big factor, but I thought overall, the organization did a great job with the event, and our fans it was fantastic. I think for the city of Nashville, for Nashville Predator fans to, again celebrate hockey in the state, and I thought our guys should be proud of the way that they played. I thought it was a hard-fought effort. And, unfortunately, we didn't find a way to win the game, but I think the guys can walk out of here, proud of the work that we put in. And now we got to regroup and get ready for Seattle.
Front right.
John, what do you think this day and really this week says about hockey in this city, in your mind?
It says how much it's grown. I think when you look at the passionate fan base now, coming from a different organization before coming to Nashville, as an opposing team, it's always something on the calendar that you always know you're coming because it's Bridgestone Arena, the atmosphere there, the Predator fans. But now being here and seeing just how hockey's grown with all the arenas and how hockey's such a big part of the culture here now. I think in the city of Nashville and the state of Tennessee, it's been great, and the organization's done a great job building strong competitive teams. I think the players have done a great job of the things they do in community service and the relationships that they have with the fan base is special. And I think when you look at the type of event just around the city, like the buzz around the city and the things that were put on by the city and by the organization is fantastic. And I think when you look at the turnout, it's really special.
Second row on the right.
Hi, John. This has been obviously an out of the ordinary month, and especially the last week. How much are you, if at all, looking forward to kind of maybe getting back to the normal schedule, getting, obviously enjoying this stuff, but moving on to the rest of the season?
Right. I mean, it was a really exciting week, and I think that, this month presented some different challenges with the All-Star break and then kind of the breaks in the schedule, where we've had games and then a couple of days off and things like that. I think this time of year, particularly the players, I mean, they want to compete and they want to play. And so I think that, I'm real proud of the guys. I thought they handled this week. We had to go in and things weren't going our way and had a hard-fought battle in Florida. And then you're coming back and, all the festivities with Pekka and finding the way to win a real emotional game there. And then 48 hours later, coming in and putting in the type of effort and competitiveness that we played with tonight. I think they did a really good job. So, we'll have a couple days here before we head out on the road. And now, now we come in, you have the final 2 months of the season and, lots of games and a much more regular schedule. So, we'll take it each game at a time and probably week by week and, continue to build our game and continue to find ways to win games.
Over here on the right, Coach.
John, you kind of hit on what I was going to ask about, so I'll go back to something specific from this game. The penalties have been a factor a lot throughout the course of the season. How frustrating was it that it crept up again there at a pivotal moment in the second?
Well, I think it was some part of the game. I thought both special teams were big factors in the game. We had some really good looks too on our power play and certain situations like that. But I thought that, I thought we played hard. I thought we played disciplined, and those things happen in the game. But I thought we capitalized on our power plays too.
Left side in the back, Greg.
Hey, John. How are you? You mentioned the atmosphere before, and I was wondering your thoughts on that. I mean, it was almost like a college bowl game. Like there were so many Lightning fans in the building. Did you anticipate that being part of the atmosphere tonight, them being here?
You know what I did, because just being here, and then you watch actually when you see visiting teams come in, I think there's always I think it's a city too where opposing fans want to be able to come. I think when you look at the locations and the setups, you have the walking bridge to and from, and I know watching, being a Tennessee Titans fan, and lots of times you see, really this year where things were open up and you see some of the big games that they played, you see, opposing teams' jerseys all around the city and coming in. And I think it's a compliment to the city of Nashville because, it is a place people want to come to. I think the convenience of the hotels and all the activities around the sports are there. So, I think that's just part of it being here. But I thought it was a great atmosphere for both teams.
We'll take 3 more questions. Dan on the right side.
John, specific to the game tonight, in the second period, was it, in your opinion, the power play goals that changed the momentum of the game, or the way they played after they got the power play goals? So, I mean, you guys didn't have a lot shot on goal for the last 8.5 minutes of that season.
Yeah, I thought that they got some juice from the power play goals, and then I think credit to them that they checked hard up ice, and we didn't do a great job, I think, of getting up and out of our zone, but. Particularly in the second, I thought when we did get in the offensive zone, we were a lot of one and done. We didn't really get over pucks and get second guys to the battles and things like that. And we kind of got half iced a bit there for a while. But I think when then you go back into the third period, I think if it might have been 2.5 minutes, of territory time for us where we were playing more of our game. And I think that's what happens when you play good teams, that they're going to test you in certain areas. But I think if you look at, our third period versus their second period, it's pretty, I think it flipped.
2 more for Coach, right side, third row.
Yeah, John, you mentioned you liked how the guys handled this week. What does that tell you? How meaningful is that? And do you feel like collectively with these 3 games, you guys took a step?
I think a lot of it comes down to, something we do preach is trying to control what we can control. And then also, Joe, I think it comes down to the focus of, the focus and the mental toughness that you want to be able to play with, because, it was challenging. A lot of these guys have, 5 to 10 to 12 people, in town. A lot of the guys from Europe have family members that haven't been here for a while. Just even for me coming in as coach, you haven't even met some of the parents or wives or girlfriends because of what's going on. So, and then you also have the guys out of their routines in those situations, but also playing, some pretty good teams, 3 pretty good teams, one on the road, but you got Dallas, which was a huge game, as we all know, with where they're in the standings and we are. But to be able to, go through and celebrate Pekka the way that we did, and the guys, find a way to win and play hard in an emotional game, and then, have to recover from that on the off day and then come in here where it's a whole different environment again. I think it's, it continues to build into the identity of our guys, is control what we can control and focus the right way, have some mental and physical toughness to ourselves. And, we knew this week was going to be a strong test, but I think this month was going to be a strong test for us, where, our game and our guys were going to get tested because of the level of opponents that you face throughout the month. So I think there's lots of good to take from it, but there's also some things we know as a group we can do a little bit better, and that's what happens. Now we got to go apply it.
Last question, back right.
You mentioned the atmosphere a little bit. Specifically, though, these 2 teams coming from, non-traditional markets and then turning out, 65,000 plus and putting on that atmosphere. What do you kind of think about that? And were you expecting such an atmosphere from these 2 markets specifically?
Well, it's kind of like you said. It's two non-traditional hockey markets, but I think when you look at the 2 different organizations, the teams that they built, the success that both of them have, and the fan bases up from both teams are, passionate about their team, about the players, and it takes. I thought the Nashville fans were unbelievable. The atmosphere was fantastic. But also the Tampa Bay fans. They have a lot to be proud of. They got a great team. They've had a lot of success, and they have a strong following. And I think it's great. I think it's great for the game. And there's a lot of hockey in the U.S. and non-traditional hockey markets that I think help grow the game and grow the sport. It's no different than why we go over sometimes to Europe and play the European games early in the year. You're trying to grow the game, grow the NHL, market the players. And, it's nice to see 2 non-traditional hockey markets as passionate and successful